Use your talent show. Stop the violence. That's right. Use your talent. Use them. Stop the violence. Yeah. Use your talent. From one heart to another, I lost two brothers. I had to brace myself for that devastating news, that senseless act of violence.
Thank you for tuning in to the Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents TV show. This is your host, Gernado.
And I'm your co-host, Monica Mann.
Thank you guys each week for tuning in to the Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents TV show worldwide. We have people all over the world, all over the globe that are tuning in, that are watching the show, and that are partaking in stopping the violence and using their talents. In this show, we will be spotlighting some significant people within our community, as well as ones that are doing things abroad. So sit back, relax,
and enjoy the show.
Q45 BET Rap City. See me on commercials. You might have seen me in a couple DVDs. Right now, we're doing this way major. It's for a good cause. Stop the violence, use your talents. We in Jacksonville, Florida. It's a nice day. Semi-sunny. See, we got the nice ambiance on all the bridges in the background right there. Got the boats and all that going down. About to get into something very, very important. Something that you really need to pay attention to. For anybody that's ever lost anybody, for anybody that's ever been hurt because of senseless violence or senseless acts of violence. This TV show is going to really educate. We got a lot of great speakers that are going to be on here today, man. Me, myself. So if you ever lost anybody, if you ever had any kind of issues, it don't matter. Everybody goes through drama. This is a TV show for you. You don't want to go nowhere, you're back in a minute. Use your talent, stop the violence.
Stop the violence. Come on, come on, gotta be bold. Come on, use your talent. Come on, stop the violence. Come on, you gotta feel it. Come on, you gotta be proud of all the problems that's going on in the country. Use your talent. Come on, tell somebody, stop the violence.
What I do is I DJ, I give people the light to really see that there's a way out of everything. I came from a super small city, town, or whatever you want to call it, Salmstein, Florida, where basically there's not a lot of outlets, man. Either you sell dope, it ain't even basketball, because, you know, we're not big on that kind of level. Either you sell dope or you work at the local, you know, food stores or some banks and things. So when it comes down to me, man, you know, I had to find me some kind of outlet to where I'm going to be able to live good. My family gonna be able to eat right. We're not gonna have to worry about anybody in my family being in the jail system, because I took on that role for myself to get out here, grind, DJ, learn what I had to learn about communications and broadcasting and this whole TV aspect of it, and get in, man, to show people, yo, I made it, you can make it too. It's that simple. Don't believe and sit there and let these haters and these procrastinators tell you, yo, you not gonna make it, you're not gonna make it rapping, or this record label ain't gonna pop off. Cause I'm a prime example, man. I'm on television, national television every day, and I live good. I mean, I'm blessed. My mama taken care of. My brothers and sisters are living well. We good over here. So I should be what you would call the poster child for somebody who needs a blueprint for, yo, I wanna make it out, and I don't know how to make it out, or I got too much adversity not to be able to get out, because it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's not an easy transition to go from being in school every day, man, when your homeboys out here, they not going to school, y'all kicking it, y'all on the block, you going out to parties or whatever, then you got to get your mind up and go to school the next morning, doing your homework. It's hard, man. It's not easy. But everything in life comes with a price, and nothing comes easy. So if you want it bad enough, you can get it. And that's basically what I'm doing with my talents. I'm showing the youth that, yo, you can do it too. I mean, it's that easy. I mean, that's really what it is, man.
Stop the violence. Here we go. Use your talent. Help somebody.
I know a lot of people say this a lot, and they always embellish this, and they always keep going over this particular subject, and I'm gonna go right back with the cliche. Learn to have compassion, learn to pray, learn to be able to let things go. And I say that, not saying let go of the memories of your fallen, but learn to let go of hate, learn to let go of animosity. Because what happens is that the cycle keeps going back in a circle. People fight and they kill and they hurt each other over different emotions that they go through. I think that as time goes on, we all have to learn compassion and love, even for people that have done us wrong. Because with prayer, with the rest of your family members, become close with your closest people, even people you're not close with. You know, tell them you love them. Just appreciate every day and take every day as it's Judgment Day. And I say Judgment Day because people say take it as your last, but say for instance, Judgment Day came right now as we making this document, this film. And the Lord brought all the people I didn't like and all of my loved ones. Would you welcome to the people that you don't like in the face of God and say, you know, I love you, my brother, my sister, even though you did me wrong? Or would you throw your head up and just go to your loved ones? That's a real question you need to ask yourself. Because when it comes down to it, and you in the eyes of God, and it's you and him, is what you've done, not what everybody else has done to you. It's what you've done that's going to be judged. So for anybody that's lost anybody, for anybody that has a loved one that's been taken out the game through senseless violence, been hurt or been maimed or whatever, we got to learn compassion. We got to learn love for one another, for our brothers and sisters. Because it's us that's going to be judged. And I know I don't mean to get too, how can I say, religious on everything, but that's what it boils down to, man. I got love for anybody that lost a brother, a sister, a mother, a father. I haven't lost my mother or my father, but I've lost cousins. I've lost friends. So I do understand your pain. I can never be in your shoes, but I do understand your pain. So for me, Q45, to anybody that's hearing the sound of my voice and looking at my face and my physical, compassion, prayer, and love. It's what I pass on. It's what I give out. Appreciate it, my brothers. This was a good look for me. Good look for everybody. I hope that you watch this, man, and it touches you because it touched me. Stop the violence.
Rap City, BET, Q45. Yes, you've heard it. And remember, he had some key valid points that he's made, that you have to have love, and with the power of prayer, you can move any mountain. And remember, you have to forgive. You know, forgiving is such a burden lifter for you and as well as the other person. So we thank you, Q45.
This is Councilwoman Mia Jones. You're tuning in to Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents television show.
Stop the violence, use your talent.
We do have to learn in this nation
by embracing Martin Luther King Jr. and what he stood for.
Be ashamed to die until you've tried to do something to make your community better.
Hey, we're students representing UNF, telling everybody to stop the violence and use your talents.
Somehow, some way.
Yo, this bigger ranking, man. Cool runnings. Stop the violence, use your talent, man. It's going down. This is a real movement, man. Get with it, man, all right?
We will continue to get there.
Be ashamed to die. It can be your community, it may be your city, it may be your state, it may even be the nation or the world. But it really doesn't have to be. It can be a victory in our schools, it can be a victory in our neighborhoods, it can be a victory in our church. But at the end of the day, be ashamed to die until you want a victory for humanity.
This is Landon's 7th grade basketball team. Stop the violence, use your talents.
Let this be your anthem. We are always being useful, never giving in. And one of the things that we're not giving into is the violence that's plaguing our communities. You know, there is a lot of leaders within our cities, in our states, in our government, in our world. And I got a chance to sit with the leader of Jacksonville, Florida, Mayor John Peyton. So tune in and watch and listen. And he's very informative about some of the things that he's doing within the city of Jacksonville, as well as I've got a chance to share with him what we're doing with Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents, and reaching out to not just our city, but abroad. Thank you for being on the Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents TV show, Mayor Peyton.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Well, one of the reasons why I really wanted to come down here and speak with you was because, of course, you know, I've had some relatives that was murdered here in Jacksonville, Florida, and we do have, you know, a serious problem with the violence that's plaguing our community. But one of the things that I've done to turn that negative into a positive is use my talent. And that's the name of the TV show, Stop the Violence, Use Your Talent. So I want to ask, as I ask all of our interviewers, how are you using your talents to help our youth of today?
Well, you know, gee, I think as mayor, one of our challenges is to find ways to encourage youth not to pursue a life of crime and violence.
That's right.
And we try to plug into those organizations using tax dollars to really allow those organizations that are doing good work to do more of what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
We use the Children's Commission really as the primary vehicle to reach youth. I think that's probably the biggest prevention we have a way of making a difference is through really engaging youth, particularly at-risk youth,
right.
Early, to where they have a sense of pride, a sense of hope, and they understand the connection between doing well in school, being good citizens, and the long-term economic opportunity
yes, sir.
They can have in this city. So we're fortunate to be in a city that has tremendous economic opportunities. We're at near full employment. But I think oftentimes our young people, particularly our at-risk youth, don't make that connection between being successful in school, having, you know, meaningful, productive, constructive activities versus, you know, deconstructive, you know, violent type deals. So I'm really encouraged that we're trying to invest in those organizations, and I like to think as mayor, I encourage my staff and my team to find ways to invest wisely. So we get the best return on those investments that we make in young people.
Stop the violence. Here we go. Use your talent. Help somebody.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Corrine Brown, and you're tuned into Stop the Violence TV show.
Has there anyone in your family or friends, relatives, so forth, that has been involved in an act of violence, such as what's been going on? Because I mean, it affects so many different people in their lifestyle, and that's the first thing that a lot of the people that have experienced these deaths is, man, they're just not really feeling my pain. Because, like, even myself, I'm not taking myself always as an example, because I'm out here and I'm doing this, and everybody's patting me on the back, you're doing such a good job, but I just still feel as though, hey, they didn't understand. My brother was someone. My cousin was someone. So, has there been someone that you can really relate to in this?
Well, I have not had a family member that's been lost to a violent crime. I've had family members that have been victims of crime, but not violent crime, and there hasn't been a death associated with it. So, I haven't personally experienced that, and I probably would be unfair to say that I really know what a person experiences or what they go through when they have that experience. But I do think that I have the capacity to care for those people and care for the folks that are victims or families of victims. I've heard a lot of testimonials. I've been with a lot of families. I know when Trishana Davis was shot, I was with her grandmother the next day. Probably one of the most touching moments of my career as mayor. Those few moments with her had a lasting impression on me, and I would say substantially changed public policy at City Hall. I think that was kind of a flashpoint in this community. So I think when we hear the stories of victims and we hear the stories of victims' families, it changes people. It changed me. So I'm not so sure you have to be a first-hand victim or a family of a victim to really understand the gravity of the problem or the devastating impact for everyone. Not just the victim, but the person that is committing the crime as well. It's a tragic event in their lives, and all the things that led up to that day that would cause them to do that. And we all have to reflect on what's happened. But it's but for that reason, you know, I think we've enacted policies here. We've tried to invest in organizations and people that are really trying to make a meaningful difference. And I think that's indicative of the compassion you see in this community.
Stop the violence. Here we go. Use your talent. Help somebody.
Are there any encouraging words that maybe you can, you know, share with some of our viewers that have lost loved ones in our communities that just need that push?
I think we have a tremendous capacity for caring in a city. There's a lot of compassion in this city. There are a lot of folks that want to make a better city and want to get involved. Our challenge has been finding ways to connect them. And our Day of Faith was one example of bringing people together, trying to connect them to those resources that can improve the lives of young people. I think we should never underestimate the power we can, in making a difference that we can make as individuals. I am a mentor or a mentee. I've been mentoring for a year, several months, almost a year.
Yes, sir.
And the idea was that, during as we were aware of all the violence we're seeing in the city, what are those organizations that are doing good work, and how can I become involved? And I chose to become a mentor with Take Stock in Children. And today, I discovered my mentee is now on the AB honor roll for the first time. And it's a huge accomplishment. I was starting to discount my belief in the difference I was making with him. But that was an affirmation today that, wow, this time I've been spending with him about doing well in school is making a difference. And he's going to get a scholarship someday from it, more likely. So I think every person needs to realize they have the enormous capacity to make a difference in the life of another person.
Yes, sir.
And they could be the difference between the lifestyle a person chooses. Whether it's a lifestyle of violence or crime, or whether it's being productive or doing well in school or being a good citizen. So that's my word of encouragement. Never discount the individual of one person to make a huge difference in mapping our city's future.
Use your talents, y'all. Let this be your answer.
Well, again, thank you for being on the Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents TV show.
Appreciate it, too.
And we're going to be doing a lot. You're going to be seeing a lot more coming from us. We have a national tour that's going.
Stop the violence. Use your talents, y'all. Stop the violence. That's right. Use your talent. Use them.
Cornell West.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Corrine Brown.
Hello, I'm Sheriff John Rutherford.
Oswald P. Brunson, Ava Waters College.
This is Councilwoman Mia Jones.
Stop the violence.
In the great city of Jacksonville with Brother
G, first of all, let me thank you for what you're doing.
My brother and my cousin was murdered here in Jacksonville. You probably seen me on the news.
Use your talent.
You should never overlook the way in which you inspire people, including myself, in terms of your example. That I think I put myself in your shoes, that if I had to deal with the grief of losing brothers like that.
It's about life, it's not about death.
Hey, we appreciate you, Magic.
Magic, from one heart to another. I lost 2 brothers, Magic.
Thank you, Magic. Okay.
I'm reaching out to you.
Okay.
It's my business plan and my documentary that I've done. I got a TV show that started, and that's my card. Bungie, that's my brand. God led me to continue to use my talents. Okay. I'm looking for help.
Enjoy that chicken. Hey, the bread, hey, Magic, the bread is the best part of the chicken. Okay.
Bungie Entertainment, DBA, Stop the Violence, Use Your Talents. We got a television show that's going to be starting. You should have some information on your desk concerning me.
Well, I tell you, G.
I think it's very important that people know about what's been going on in Duval County. Your contribution, what you're doing to bring awareness to the problem that we have in the community.
Would I have the courage? Would I have the spirit that you had? So first I salute you. That's very important because your example thereby inspires others.
We work with Bungie Production, a very significant Stop the Violence program in Jacksonville. It was very well received by the city.
Stop the violence.
Stop the violence, use your talents.
Stop the violence, use your talents.
Stop the violence, use your talents.
I think the hip-hop industry has a huge impact.
Trust God.
We hope that you all are enjoying the show. In this particular setting, it was a very emotional moment for me, so I hope that you are able to get something from out of it.
Hi, my name is Alyce Thompson. I have lost 4 good men in my life. The first being my oldest son's father, who was murdered at 21. The second death that I experienced was two at one time. The first was my second son's father, my fiance, who was actually abducted for ransom. And while he was missing for 30 days, my family and I had to bury my nephew, my older sister's son. After that death, 5 years later, I experienced losing my daughter's father to a violent death.
Stop the violence. Here we go. Use your talent. Help somebody.
I'm using my talents through creative writing poetry, novels, screenplays, speaking to the youth about my life experiences. I've written 6 books to empower the youth and people in general who has been through hardship, who's lost someone in their life, who's going through different situations, whether or not they don't know where they want to go with their careers or they're just stuck. My first book, 3 Men I Chose to Love, is based on my life story and the trials and tribulations that I had gone through, losing 3 fiancés to the streets in a tragic way.
Stop the violence. Here we go.
You can never prepare yourself for death. And when it comes so timeless, it's just heart-wrenching to even have to think about it, and to cope with it every day is a challenge. And not many people can get up and recoup from those types of wounds. But thanks to God, my children are healthy, their minds are whole. I have gone through, relapses, but today I'm living a prosperous life and doing great things as far as business-wise. I've taken those experiences and used them to empower other individuals to do what I'm doing. My encouragement for families who's gone through tragic deaths is to stick together, love one another, mold their children, teach their children to love, to understand and be able to cope with the losses that they've experienced, because it's a very traumatic experience. That it affects them in their schooling, it can affect them in their relationships with other children, with other adults. They can lack trust. They can lack confidence in not knowing how to go on with their lives because of that loss. If you're so used to seeing someone every day and then the next day you wake up, they're not there, that can be very, very hard for one to deal with. I would just suggest counseling, lots of love, guidance, God, and push. You have to push your children to, and even if they're adults, we sometimes think that because they're older that they're not going through what children go through or what older adults go through. We all hurt, we all have pain, we all have to deal with these losses, and we all need someone to just listen, to just hear us, to love us, to embrace us, and to understand what we're going through and what we have gone through. And if you're taking that those losses and developing that into negative behavior, that can be turned around too. You can take those behaviors and use them positively through creative writing, through dance, through music, through drama, all sorts of ways.
Stop the violence. Here we go. Use your talent. Help somebody.
We hope you all enjoyed the show. And remember, if you have any information concerning any of the crimes or murders, please contact your local authorities.
That's right. Be useful and never give in. Stop the violence and use your talents. Look out for us in Jamaica. We're on air there, as well as Miami, Orlando, Atlanta, and soon coming Los Angeles and New York. Hey, stop the violence, use your talents worldwide. You're in Zimbabwe, Europe, China, Hong Kong, Canada, Look out for us, even in Paris. Stop the violence, use your talents.
Stop the violence. Here we go. Use your talent.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Curtis Blow. Old school hip-hop, pioneered the game 35 years, man of God, minister of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and the gospels of my God. Now, I want to shout out the movement that's going down. Stop the violence and use your talent. You heard? Stop the violence and use your talent. That's coming from Curtis Blow. Peace.
Stop the violence, use your talent. Winners never stop, winners keep going continuously. Are you feeling me? A positive mental attitude, sound physical health, put you in the right mood. Oh yeah, harmony in human relations, freedom from fear, cause God made creation. What a sensation, hope for future achievements. It's time somebody start believing and receiving. Stop the violence. Use your talent. Oh, listen up now. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. Stop. Use your talent. Use it. Stop the violence. Use your talent. If you got any information concerning any violent crime, please contact your local officials. Tell someone. It may help. A lot of people don't understand it until it happens to them. It happened to me and my family twice. I lost a cousin and a brother. We got to stand up and make a difference.